Today is Wednesday, 30th of June, and we are starting our HR Scrum today. So, first things first, let me actually share my screen, yeah, on like the things that we're going to cover over here. Okay. Okay, can you all see? Can everyone see my screen? Can ya? Okay. Okay. I believe there's a few like there's no new announcement, I believe, but there's like a few updates over here. So, okay, this is actually from the from the bottom funnel leader. Maybe I'll go to Jing.
Yep. Okay. So I asked for a volunteer, and then Furkan told me that at the same point I asked for him to volunteer, he was thinking about doing it. The reason I thought Furkan might actually be good at this is there's a few things, and I'm just going to kind of put this out. Furkan, I think in his initial days was working on an employee advocacy project, and he demonstrated this to me by showing me how on LinkedIn there's a certain feature that's interesting there. Furkan has also told me a few times that he would like to get more involved, deeper in the employee user journey. So that part's pretty cool. And also, because Furkan also works on the upper funnel, the bottom part of the funnel actually integrates back up. So we might be able to keep the meeting and maybe reduce the amount of leadership loss and having to create more complicated meetings for that. But I do want to get some other people to help Furkan with this specific section. I think I have at least one, if not two, new interns coming in to the chapter. So, anyways, that's the update on that one. And due to that update, the other update, which is the project on the intern graduation presentation, I think I'll just let Furkan build a team around that. That is definitely bottom of funnel, and I think I'll delegate to Furkan to find somebody to help him manage that particular process. So that's the project that we initially started with Ilham and Erica. I think we called it the exit interview or the exit presentation. I think the new official name is the intern graduation presentation. So anyhow, that one goes to Furkan. Furkan will find a person to help him as part of the bottom funnel. Back to the chair.
Okay, thank you, Jing, for the for the further update on the announcements. So, okay, Furkan will later need to like form his own team. Okay, would it be possible to like have this team formed by the next Scrum on Friday? Furkan?
Sure, I will hunt. I will hunt first the team that, and yeah,
Okay. Okay, can. Okay, thank you, Furkan. Yeah, we're looking forward to your next update in the next Scrum. Okay, I think that's all for the announcement. So let's move on to the next part, which is the main issues. So I believe we actually have two new issues raised up like the past 1 2 days. So okay, maybe to you, sir, do we want to like discuss this or like have everyone to like fill this up first?
Just really quickly, I think we can discuss this. I just wanted to go around the room and see how well people understand. Now, if you have not seen the, or if you have seen this chart before, give me a thumbs up right now, yeah, on the chat. If you've seen this graph before, okay, everyone's seen it. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, perfect. All right, if you haven't seen it, this comes from the introductory. Actually, if you haven't seen it, that's kind of a problem. We need to figure out why. Okay, thank you. This comes into the new employee introduction video, and it basically describes the Spotify engineering culture. It's a format that we have used here at Bukit Vista to define squads, chapters, tribes, and guilds and such. Okay, so my question right now is to see how well we understand this. Let's go to, let's say, Arby. Arby, what is our current squad structure? Where does the squad exist? Who is in your squad? What's the purpose of the squad? And who is the squad accountable for?
I think the squad is the funnels that we have. We are divided by funnels in the chapter.
Okay, Harvey says funnels. Let's go to Jenna. Jenna, what do you think it is?
I think it's the each campaign is a squad.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I agree with Jenna. I think it's each campaign. So within each campaign, that's a squad because we're working with people who are on different levels of the of the stack now, right? So there's one person with awareness, another person doing selection. It doesn't go all the way to the very end because it's just top, because we delegate back over to the chapter lead for the next stage, absorbing the new employee into the chapter. But let's go around and see if we understand this well. Let's go to Latifa. Latifa, who is the squad accountable to? So on the campaigns, who is the squad actually accountable for?
Sorry, who is this the squad? What?
Accountable to?
Um to the middle funnel thing?
No, the middle funnel and the upper funnel work together on one campaign as a team, as a squad.
Yeah.
So, but who is that team accountable to?
To for the hiring campaigns, right? To every chapter, I think.
Okay, let's get that a little bit more precise. Go to Furkan. Furkan, who is the squad accountable to? Every chapter, but who particular on every chapter?
In my uh, each campaign actually is accountable for the goals of each campaigns. If it's hiring campaign, it's accountable for getting employees here in Bukit Vista.
Okay. Okay. Still not the answer I'm looking for. Let's go to Shumin. Shumin, who is the squad accountable to?
I think in this case, like if the squad is like each campaign, then it's like accountable to the PIC of the campaign first.
Yes. Okay. Accountable to the PIC, but the PIC is just the person who's managing it, right? They're the manager. Who's the client? Let's go to Vera. Who's the client of each squad?
The respective chapters.
Yes, it's the respective, yes, the chapter leads. So basically, on each campaign, your client is actually the chapter leads. So that means you don't need to report actually here, right? The goal isn't to report here. The goal is actually to report your progress to your end client who is asking for this particular person to be filled. Okay, so I think that's one discovery that we should make. The second, let's go on to the second part, right, which is where is the chapter and who is in the chapter and what's the purpose of the chapter and how have we set up the chapter now. So this is a little bit more complex. Let's see how we can do on this one. Let's go to Shaylin first. Where is the chapter now? Who is part of the chapter and what is the purpose of the chapter?
Okay, so like in the company, right? Like we do have chapters for like several like purposes, like according to what kind of work like they are involved in, and it can also be like classified by the apa namanya? By the like funnels itself, like by the user funnel. But yeah, for the chapter wise, it's basically what from what I understand is actually based on like the type of work itself. So HR is more into HR, and then like, others are into others, right?
Okay.
So it actually goes back again like to the company goals, right? Like I mean, for the vision and mission, like we are actually like all of the chapters are striving like to the same vision and mission, but we are doing it in our own like ways like that. But we're still like heading to the same direction.
Got it. Okay, let's go into specifically into the HR chapter. Um, Tell me a little bit more about how the difference between when we have fewer people and now when we have more people looks like. Let's go to Jenna. What do you think is, let's say, the chapter, and what is the purpose of the chapter?
Yeah, asking with regards. Sorry, I'm really confused. Are you asking with regards to our company chapter or
No,
the
no,
chapter in
just
the
our
paper?
HR chapter. Just our HR chapter.
Okay. For our HR chapter, what is the difference between? Okay. I think now that we have a bigger company, we have like more resources in a way, and it can allow us to divide our resources better within each squad to do our work.
Okay, kind of there. Okay. Let me sort of paint this picture because this one's a little bit complex, right? So before the HR chapter is everybody in this room. So I'm just talking about the HR chapter. The HR chapter is everybody in this room because we're all working on a particular mission related to, and we're all using a particular skill set to get to that mission. Okay? Okay, yeah. That's the package right. Thank you. But here's what we've done. What we've done is that we've created subchapters now. Okay, and instead of having, let's say, so we have a bit of a delegation. Let's see if we understand this delegation. I think only a few people were early enough to get this one. I'll go to Arby. Arby, the way that we have divided the chapter down into subchapters, is it a parallel or is it a sequential delegation?
I think it's sequential because one subchapter is like determining the next work for
Very
the
good.
next.
Okay, very good. Arby, you're correct. So sequential delegation, everybody, is when you do this, right? There's an input, an SLA, and then an output, right? That's what an SLA is, right? The SLA receives something, and then it outputs a certain thing. So a sequential is you take the SLA and you break it in half. So there's an input, there's SLA first stage, right? SLA first stage goes to SLA second stage, and then that creates the output. That is a sequential delegation. A parallel delegation looks like this. There's an input, goes into the SLA, goes into an output. Now what you do is you split half the input this side, you split half the input this side. It goes through two identical SLAs, and then it goes through the output. Okay, so that is essentially a parallel delegation. This is a sequential delegation. We split the SLA. So what we've done in our chapter is that we created a sequential delegation. We split the SLA into two parts. However, in the campaigns, it's actually a parallel delegation, right? Because everybody's working in parallel. Okay, so that is a realization that I just want to drive through so that we're clear about how everything is working and there's no confusion. Okay, so we've made a chapter level sequential delegation. We've made a campaign level squad parallel delegation. Okay, so we have squads now. In essence, the squad works on a hiring campaign mission. And remember, the squad's mission is to serve the end client, which is the chapter lead. So, therefore, you probably do not need to report any of your squad updates in the future at this kind of meeting because this is a chapter meeting. What you should report is you should report things that you've done that can affect how other people's work patterns work, right? So what does the chapter really do? We work on a particular skill set, work according to a particular knowledge base, okay? So your output of your campaigns, the person who should know about that is the chapter lead who's requested for that. But what the chapter should understand, what the chapter should know is, have you discovered a best practice that can significantly improve the way that other people work who are on your sub chapter, okay? Have you actually discovered a thing that everybody in the chapter should be aware of that affects all of our work in parallel? That's what you should discuss here. Have you any problems that you need help with that other people with the same skill sets in this chapter can help with, right? That you can discuss here. So I want to make that clear so that we know what to report to what. Now, of course, we're in the habit of reporting all the campaign updates in our regular discussions, but that shouldn't really be the purpose. The purpose should be you get the campaign updates in order to find ways of improving the process that you process each campaign. That is what we discuss in this particular meeting. Okay? All right. Hopefully that makes things a little bit more clear by going back to the original vision. Once you've really understood this, please just say, I understand now, and you can put it on the conclusion. Okay? I don't think sometimes we force people to understand in one sitting, but you got to really kind of digest it, understand it, and then that should modify your behavior and what you decide to bring into this group discussion. Okay, that's it. I'll pass it back to Shayla.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so for this part of the discussion, right? I think we can all agree that like everyone needs to like have the understanding first, right? So later on, you guys can list out your names here, like in the conclusions column, and then if you already understand, then you can just put your like hashtag name and then like say that I understand about this method. If not, then you can also you can also like put up your questions over here like in the discussion like section of this topic, so that later like you can also directly mention like Jing or even like whoever you want to ask like further about this, and then like confirm again on your understanding in this case. Yeah. Okay, that's for this discussion topic. And then the next one, I believe this is from RV. So maybe I'll pass this to RV to get like more input on this part.
Okay, thank you, Shalin. So I worked with Chumin yesterday in adapting our way of updating in regards to Alif's method of updating. So instead of copying him, we try to adapt our way. And then um, can you go to the first picture? Yep. Yep. Okay, so there are two kinds of updating, right? The Monday update and the Wednesday and Friday update. So on the Monday update, we will be comparing the last week and the last 2 weeks to compare the performance of 2 weeks. And then we want to have the same term for everybody here. So in this case, for weekly SLA update, the terms for the date is the example is like this. The comparison for the 21st, for 14 June until 21st, it is called 21st June. And 21st until 28th, it becomes 28th June. So 28th June weekly SLA update will be like this. Distribution post SLA, how many distribution posts in the SLA, and then in 21st June from 14 until 21st, how many did we achieve, and in 28th June, how many did we achieve from 21st until 28th. So we hope that with this format, we can easily compare instead of scrolling up for the SLA or the previous achievements. And then for every Scrum, yep, we want to see the result of last Scrum's actionable result. So if you still work on it or if you already have the result, then you put it in the actionables update. And then for the update on that day from the last Scrum, then you put it in the update. And then the friction and actionables, it's just like what we used to do. So yeah, that's the update for this format. Do you want to ask anything, clarify, or is it clear for everyone before we move on to the next?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Avery, for the explanation. Okay. So because we're actually kind of running out of time, so I think everyone, like, if you have any questions, you can put it in the discussion paper over here, and then try to put your questions before Thursday, and then like the apa, and then Arvi and Truman can also like answer your queries, and then like make the changes accordingly by this Friday, yeah, by the next Scrum. So yeah, please put your questions by Thursday the latest, and then like we can actually work more on it. Okay, so yeah, thank you everyone, and later we'll apa work more on this part later according to your questions. Okay, so yeah, that's for the main issues. Okay, let me actually use a bit of a 5 minutes so that we can actually go like to the next part. I believe this one is already like updated by Furkan as well on the update. And yeah, okay, for this part, right? So this one is actually the employee advocacy part where we previously agreed that like we'll put the testimony or projects and in the careers as well as the Hall of Fame page. But Lolita has already like updated it in the email attachment in posters as well as the presentation, and it's already attached here. Maybe I'll pass the time to Vera. Is there any update on the Hall of Fame page so far?
Not yet. I thought we're going to have like a discussion with Jing, Jenna, and Shumin. So yeah.
Oh, okay. When are you having the discussion?
Maybe this Thursday if it's everyone is available.
Okay then. Okay then. If you're having the meeting on Thursday, then please give us the update by this Friday. Yeah, by the next Scrum. So later you can just update it directly in this part of the discussion topic. In this case. Okay. So yeah, that's to like follow up the previous discussions, and this one is already done. Okay. Oh yeah, a quick update. So for Nusa Talent, the outsourcing company, right? So we already like had a meeting with them, like with Furkan and Alita as well. And yeah, we have decided not to continue with that part because like as we realized like most of it are actually like they're more into like an outsourcing company, but they also like managing the recruitment side and then like some other things as well. And then we decided that it's not actually like a fit for us as well in this case. So yeah, we won't actually continue with this. So yeah, just to give everyone a quick update. And yeah, okay, I think now we can go to the breakout sessions right now. I'll divide the groups and yeah, okay. Okay, so I think everyone can go to their own respective breakout rooms, and then we'll meet again at 2:50 p.m. Yeah, guys. So yeah, see you guys in a while. Yeah.
I've seen your laptop. Is it that one over there? Okay, who's leading today?
Aaron.
Oh, okay.
It's
Aaron.
me. Sir, by the way, Afurkan and I gonna have a meeting with UPH, Fakultas Harapan University at 1:30. I mean
2:30 Jogja.
2:30 Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the next 5 minutes. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
we
So you're
are
gonna
going
need
to
to exit. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
yeah.
that's okay. So the when is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, in 5 minutes. Okay, let's Iron. Let's get started.
Yes, Lalita, can you help me to share screen?
Can you guys see my screen?
No, not yet in my part.
Okay.
Not yet.
What about now?
Yes, but it's still black. Ah,
Okay,
maybe.
yeah. Thank you, Lalita.
Okay.
Okay, so first we will start from HAR intern, which the PIC is Lalita. So for today's updates, we got 16 new distribution posts and one applicant. And for the general updates, distribution to friends with lucky pass methods and to current and past BV interns universities. And Lalita already outreach for Erica's unis and already replied and partners. And also Farah and another BI member brought to our attention some issues with the job descriptions that might have resulted in the decrease of applicants. And we tried to change on the BV website on Bali on the HAR1. And for the friction itself, distribution post to friends, but we must also see the right expectations because it's no shortcut due to the connections. And the name of the internship role might be foreign to some people as compared to the normal name such as customer service. So for the actionable ones, wait for distribution post to take the effect. And Lalita will also re-outreach to FINA Outreach University in the past when she was in charge of HR and outreaching tourism universities suggested by Farah.
It's actually hybrid.
Iron, I think
Yes.
due to your friction, it might be a good idea to change the title then, right? Like if HAR, I agree. That's something that's a good discovery. HAR is a bit unusual. Nobody calls it that except us. So I think if we used a more common term, that could bring more, a better conversion, right? People would understand what the purpose of the role was, and they would look at it a little bit further. What do you think?
Yes, Mr. Ding. Actually, yesterday, me, Lalita, and Shilins and Farah already discussed on Discord to change some like these details and names for the campaigns. So
Okay, perfect. When can the changes be implemented, Iron?
actually, Lalita's in charge of the HAR. So, Lalita, what do you think? Do we already change the name of HAR campaign in our website?
I don't think we have changed the name. We only changed like the BCC one. So I will work on this today and come back with the result tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you, Iron. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, let's go back. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Lalita, for the confirmations.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So for this campaigns, uh, our updates is 3 applicants, and but with the English attachments mentioned in the web page, we still got an applicants that applying with Indonesian CV and cover letter. So our pivot in outreaching strategy by Furkan is first asking reference from lecturer, and the second one is to use Trojan horse methods. For the frictions of issue itself is applicants not being detail oriented and reflecting low motivations and understanding. But supposedly the deadline for this campaign is today, yet we need to extend further. And for the actionables, change the outreaching strategy from today and need to monitor the development, coordinate with Furkan on the possible deadline proposal and approach. Okay, for Furkan, when can we see the deadline for these campaigns? Because Celine said that we need to extend.
I guess this question.
Oh, Furkan is not here.
Hello.
Okay, any
Furkan is
suggestion?
here. Furkan is here.
One is
Furkan is,
Yeah, yeah, I'm still here. Um, by the way, I guess
why I didn't see him?
you can you hear my voice?
yes.
Okay, okay. Maybe the question regarding the deadline extension, it should be best asked to Kashelin rather than me. Maybe I can discuss first with Kashelin, and I will deliver the result to you later after we found the best deadlines.
Okay, thank you, Furkan, for the updates. And Lalita, please take Furkan on the card to remind him with the updates later.
Is
So
there anything else? Maybe I will.
when is it going to be?
It's supposed to be Friday for next crumbs. Yep, thank you. And for our next campaign is Bali content creator from Lalita. Okay, so our updates is inviting people from remote to Bali area and already contact one person about it. Lalita also already revised the job descriptions and going to discuss more about the fixed benefits. Okay, still being reviewed yeah for guest lecture presentations. Okay, and there are 16 distribution posts, but still not applicants yet, maybe because the lagging of the distributions. And we have our first interview and two online assessments. Fictions, no applicants, and actionables waiting for the new distribution post to take effect. And let's make five more distribution posts before Friday to Lalita and waiting for the results of OA online assessments. And one candidate will join July 5th trial if she passes. The results will be available tomorrow. Okay, Lalita, for the distribution posts, are you okay with that? With make five more? Can you explain about it further?
No, I will find five more distribution posts before Friday.
Okay. Okay, I think that is any updates from Mr. Jing for Bali content creator. Okay. So next is community management. Yeah, our action points. We had interview with Muklis. Vera is not sure about his capacity, but decided to pass him for trials. So we got one trials candidates, and currently considering one candidates and need Shumin's Bukit Vista opinions. But Shumin's already updates that she already discussed with Vera. We will talk more about it. And had another meeting for BVCE talk with Jenna and Asa and discuss about KPIs, questions, what kind of speaker resource do we actually need relating to sustainability and get the clear definitions of it. And for performance, there are still no new applicants since last Scrum, and there are 7 distribution polls for today. We got low quality candidates, which make it hard to come up with the final decisions, and most of them have the experience, but there's something that lack of core value fits and not understanding of the job desk. And for the conclusions and actionable, we will analyze the campaign for a bigger scope, website, job descriptions, applicants Google form with Patricia from BI, and we will talk more about BV and CE talk about sustainable community, planning to have two speakers. Okay, so for my update talk, I will discuss with Vera and Jenna about the candidates that come and also about the BV and CE talk. Okay, next. BI chapter campaign, which the PIC is selalu tiba. For our action point, we already interviewed with one accounting candidates and passed for trials. We also reached out to the release about the change from DA to BA and what needs to be changed about job desk, qualifications, etc. Also, our data analyst laws have been paused start from 29 June till mid-August 15. We decided to not pause the financial analyst role to maintain balance in the future FLA. And financial administrator will be merged with accounting, but still no discussion between Alfie and Lilis. So for our performance, constant increase for the S applicants, new intern, 3 online assessments are currently in evaluations by respective professors. One data scientist applicant dropped out, never retried. Since the posting of data analyst role, more data scientist candidates have applied, plus 3 for today. And based on website views ranking, data analyst is indeed the job vacancy with highest page views and unique page views. So this led to the constant increase of the A role. For the conclusion actionable, since the A role has been paused and archived from the website, we will get more data scientist candidates hopefully could maintain the SLA from all funnel states. We also clear out every new and try for yesterday and today's deadline, and we'll follow up with Lilis regarding PA role change.
Question Iron and question Lolita. Does this new way of reporting make our discussions more efficient now? Let's go to Lolita. What do you think?
I think yes, because we only take like around 10 minutes since we started this meeting. So we're going faster than before. And we already know what the action point and also the frictions and what are the actionable. So yes.
Okay, good, good. Let's go to Iron. Iron, what do you think about this new innovation? Has this made our meetings more efficient?
Yes, exactly. Because we already know that's the difference between last week and this week from this data. And
Okay.
we also get some new innovations or maybe performance for our next outreach. And
Mm,
we also know what pictures that we get from our outreach and what we should do to
okay, got it.
the
Here, Iron, I want you to open a new tab and Google search this, right? Google search fear zone, comfort zone, right? So just those two words, fear zone, comfort zone. Okay, and go ahead and search and oh yeah, that's it. And please open up images. Open up any of those images. Okay, and yeah, that's it. All right. So the thing I want to bring forward is this is one of the reasons you interned at Bukit Vista, right? To develop and understand how entrepreneurship and how innovations actually work. So there's an emotional journey that happens across, right? And I just want to illustrate this. The old method of doing HR Scrum was something that was comfortable. It was fine, right? We seemed to get by okay, but it wasn't like the best. It wasn't the best because we didn't use our time exactly very well. Sometimes we would get involved in long discussions about how to interpret the information. During that, and we wouldn't be able to cover very much in the time that we had. Now we have left the comfort zone and we went into the fear zone for a while. Remember, it was kind of like messy. Weren't sure. We felt like meetings were maybe wasting time. It was uncomfortable because we were not certain what the future might hold. Now we have progressed into, I think, the learning zone and a growth zone where we're comfortable with the new system now. We can develop a lot with using this new system. And what we've done is actually this. We've taken information and now we've turned it into knowledge. So before we would study information in a meeting, now we have knowledge. So of course, we don't need to think and digest as much during the meeting because the knowledge has already been pre-digested and it has been just offered forward, which is really great, right? That allows us to then work on strategy and on higher levels instead of trying to interpret what the information actually means. So this is a great process, I think, right? This is essentially the emotional process. Now, we did this all together in a way to inspire everybody here to be more comfortable with this process of leaving your comfort zone, going to the fear zone, going to learning zone. Every one of us, when we start internships, when we start working, you're going to start learning something from the beginning. You're going to get comfortable with whatever it is, and you might continue the same method until the end of your internship. That happened with a few of our past interns. I would like to avoid that. I would like you to be more comfortable making these risky kind of moves to really go and live into the growth zone, right? Where, yeah, you left something that was kind of working, but you went into something that was a little bit risky. And if you failed, you can always go back and do what you did before. But if you don't fail, then you can evolve, progress, and positively transform and inspire delight. Okay? So this is a really good moment to kind of just remember that and keep that in mind. Okay? I'll go back to Aaron.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jing. I also realized that we still moving to the learning zones. Okay, next campaign is for PD chapter interns. Below. Yes, for our actionable updates, we give accessor heads up signs. Uh, More than two applicants online assessments due on the same day. And we still got no distribution post updates from Latifa, but there are 7 applicants and 7 online assessments, 1 first interview, zero on-site trial, and zero new hire. So our fictions, 2 to 3 candidates are currently holding full-time jobs experience but applied for internships. They did not see that it is an internship thing that internship FT. So two applicants applied with both CV and portfolio in Indonesians. Our middle funnel agreed to reject UI UX applicants did the online assessment in Indonesians, but the paper is in English. So no applicants for backend. Our actionables, we might need to split sections for intern and full-time roles on websites. And English as the main language used in BV need to be more obvious to applicants on website onwards. Mr. Jing, do we need to change our posters or do we need to like updates more about the English? What do you
No,
think?
so I asked Shumin about the her assessment. Does she believe that this is due to we are not being clear in asking for applications in English, or is it because the candidates have a not good understanding and they don't read the details? She believes it's actually the latter, that the candidates are not understanding and they're not reading the details, which is okay. That's okay. That means it's a filter, right? That
Yeah.
means that kind of person who doesn't read details and try to understand probably isn't going to pay attention to their code when they do coding, right? And that person probably will make bugs and mistakes as well. So it's not a details matter fit. So that is okay. If it is an issue with that we're not being specific and we get somebody applies, then it is our fault, right? But if we have become specific, if we said it clearly, then it is the candidate either not listening or maybe they have a good reason and they need to explain that, right? So I think either way, it's okay. It means that we don't need to take action yet.
Okay, so maybe for the next actionables for Latifa, we need to have her updates on next scrums on Friday. Yes, thank you, Lalita. So next is HR. Okay, our actionable updates, we're still waiting for new applicants. There are only ones, but for today's updates, there are 7 distribution posts, but that applicants drop out. The fiction, we need 15 applicants until Sunday, and actionables, we will try to aiming for schools that outside Indonesian in this month. But, and yeah, I already answered RP that it's not too late for summer internships because the curriculum in every university is different, but there might be a longer process because mostly outside Indonesian's university requires a meeting first for the internship cooperation. And yeah, that's all the updates for hiring prioritizations.
I think that's a good goal then, Iron, by the way. So our goal can be how many meetings are we aiming to get for that type of internship? Because I think most of the time we expect distribution to happen immediately, but there could be a middle layer between outreach, meeting, and then distribution. So, okay, that's a good insight.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jing. So I think I'll give back the chair to you.
Sure. All right. So whoever's going to chair the next one and is watching this video, because Latifa and Furkan aren't here, let's try this on the next one. Okay, going again out of our comfort zone into like a fear zone again. Maybe we can start with the discussion first next time, okay? Because remember, the output, like I just said in the main stage, the output of what we do on the campaigns is actually not we're not accountable to actually kind of like this group, right? We're accountable to the chapter leads that we're serving. For right now, let's just say you guys are practicing with me, right? Because I'll monitor and keep everyone on track. But your true client is actually the chapter leads. which means that if you feel like you're falling behind or you won't be able to deliver what you've promised, um, actually, you're accountable to your direct client in this subchapter is the person next on your campaign, which is the person working on selection. That's our accountability. That person then is accountable to actually the chapter leads. Okay, but the complaints go up to us usually, right? So the chapter lead, or let's say the person who is doing the selection won't have enough applicants, so they'll of course ask for more applicants. And, well, they won't have enough trials, and they'll ask for more applicants, and then we need to, do that. So that's kind of like the way that the information needs to flow. Um, so in the future, once we've gotten used to that style, then essentially you're not really reporting to me, you're not really reporting to your peers, you're just really reporting to the next person in the next subchapter, and that person reports to the end client. Okay, so just as practice, maybe the next time we start, let's start with the discussion paper, and I'll show kind of like a few discussions that we have going on. The benefit of the discussion paper is I think we have really good communication culture. I don't really usually wait very long before I see that this document is getting populated. But there is a few things that I'd just like to introduce before we go back to the main stage. First thing is, yesterday we attended that UGM FAB meeting. That is a very, very deep meeting, as you can see. That was like, I feel like in the nest of like the very core. But we can also see that it's pretty interesting. There's not very many people in the core, apparently, right? UGM FAB division works only with, I think, 2 hotels and us, right? So it's actually kind of interesting. It's not easy to get into the core, but once you get into the core, you have access to the entire faculty's internship program, which is kind of worthwhile. The thing that I'd like everyone to think about is, what do we learn there in terms of understanding how the administrators think, right? And once we understand how administrators think, we can go back to the very beginning again. How can we tie our features to benefits? Okay, how do we tie features to benefits? The school is interested in credits. We are interested in creating projects. Where does that actually meet? I think we talked about the curriculum and the syllabus could be where that actual meeting happens, okay? So that's the tool that will link the feature to the benefit with the school. The other thing is, if we know how that faculty works, can we go across to other UGM faculties and ask for similar meetings, right? We already have proof of success with this particular faculty. Can we go to another faculty and say, can we be an industry partner? We already have understood how this Merdeka Belajar program works. Would you invite us in, and we can do a similar situation with another faculty, right? So really think about how we can horizontally scale. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'd like to just start that discussion and get us thinking about that. The other similar thing, and this is all about how to horizontally expand. We have previous posts that are on Daily Social that talk about Bukit Vista, and we are approaching Daily Social now to ask them to publish a press release about our new app. So I think, once again, we can leverage our past success. So don't be a stranger. Don't reinvent the wheel. Go with, let's say, maybe this person, right? Yenny. Maybe we could reapproach Yenny and say, hey, Yenny, remember that article you did on Bukit Vista last year? Do you want to do another article? It's almost a year ago now, right? So it could be a good time to give your audience another chance to refresh about what's happened. So I want to also initiate discussion about that and make everyone aware that there's ways to leverage PR. Okay, that's it. Let's go back. Yeah.
You Abby, you're muted.
Somehow it's only 2.
Why only 2 of you guys?
Oh, the other 2 left because they got bored, and they no. Latifah and Hassan went to a university meeting, so they couldn't make it. Yeah, they had to leave a bit early.
Okay. So everyone is back here, yeah, more or less. Okay. Oh, thank you for sharing, Lolita. Okay, so here we are after the breakout sessions, and we'll deliver the breakout summary, yeah, for today. So let's go to the top funnel first for the summary to Lalita. Please deliver like the findings, like what are the problems the solution that the team has proposed, and like by when and by who, yeah, if you have already like summarized all of those.
Okay, so in today's breakout session for the BD, we find that Furkan says that the extension will be based on Kak Shalin. So he will has a meeting with Shalin and also Shumin, and will report on the result on Friday Scrum, and also on HAR. We find out that common most common turn will bring more audience. So I will start working on this, on revising the website on HAR role today, and come back with the result tomorrow, which is Thursday. And for the Bali content creator, since KRV says that we need to find more distribution posts this week, so I will find 5 more distribution posts before Friday, and will get back on the results on Friday Scrum too. And for the CM, Kairan will discuss with Jenna and also Vera about the BVE talk and C talk. And for the PD, Latifa had to go for another meeting, so Latifa will give update on Friday's Scrum. And for the HR, Iron will do more outreach outside Indonesia, and today's meeting become more efficient due to the format.
Okay, thank you, Lolita. I noticed that a few of the like apa the intended solution or the actionables that you wrote there is like a few of them actually don't have their name and the dates, yeah, the due date, like the by when and then the by who is actually not like updated accordingly. So please do update that there. For example, the one with HAR, the Bali content creator, and then for CM, there's no by when so far. Yeah. So yeah, maybe you can give us updated on that part. And yeah, thank you, Lolita, for like delivering the summary for the bracket sessions from the awareness team. And let's move on next to Vera. Please deliver us the summary for the middle funnel discussion just now.
Okay, so today the middle funnel didn't really like discuss about each campaigns, but we actually discussed like the general problem. So the conclusion is we'll try to use median number instead of the average number for the user funnel SLAs in the spreadsheet. And also there will be some changes in the number of roles, right? Since we paused like DA and like there are like some changes of names. So that we will like adjust the number. So it's like a win and loss ratio to shift to like percentage. So the percentage will reflect the win or loss ratio, and it will only report the wins. So there's like a pictures. Please do look at the picture so you can understand better. And also there has been a change of name, sales BD to business development full time. And also we have like this question, how to set numbers correctly for better SLA's quantity. Just jumping to the conclusion actionable, like relating to the question. I'll start first with like Arvi will discuss further about the percentage, like whether it's like doable with Jing. And then also the second point is that Shalene and Arvi will work on the user funnel SLA targets. Then the rest of the campaign champions can proceed with the weekly SLA numbers. And then the third point is like to discuss with Jing about like adding new benefits about like English environment thingy, because we recently discussed about like the use of language in the cover letters and CVs. And by when? It's like for by 2nd of July. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vera, for delivering the summary. Okay, I think that's all for today's Scrum coverage. And yeah, we actually like still got a few like extra 3 minutes. So maybe like if anyone wants to kayak apa What is it called? Oh, okay. So like, if anyone wants to kaya deliver feedback to me, we can actually like go to Discord later as well as apa to deliver like the feedbacks for my sharing today as well as the other like the other teammates who are currently doing the roles for the meeting. Okay, then
Shailin,
last one.
could I just take a quick poll?
Yeah.
I just took a poll in the top funnel. Let's just check on the mid funnel. Jenna, the new reporting method that we've been using, is it making things easier when you guys do a middle funnel discussion?
The new reporting method, like for our each campaign, the way we write it.
Yeah. Huh?
Actually, today we didn't do each update for the campaign.
Oh, tell me. Okay, that's interesting. Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Uh, I guess it's okay. I don't
Okay,
know.
no, it could be a good thing. It could be a good thing. Let's go over to Vera. Vera, what did you guys talk about today?
The mainly about the spreadsheet and the user funnel SLAs.
Okay, interesting. So more on the SLAs now than actually the campaigns, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, all right. RV, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's actually a good thing. We apply what we learned in the discussion management before, and
Yeah.
then it's actually setting up the goals, the direction of what we want to do as a meeting.
Okay, very good. All right, and let's go to Shimin. Shimin, why is it unnecessary to talk about the campaigns now in the discussion?
I think like because most of us roughly know like what's going on in the campaigns and like
Okay.
we could read like through the comments. Yeah, so I think Shelly also told us like she wanted to try this method today,
Okay.
like talk more about what's happening in middle funnel so that
Okay.
it's relatable to everyone.
Great. All right. Fantastic. Top funnel people. See that I think is the next evolution, right? So when we can get to just talking about the SLAs and instead of actually the campaign,